Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Waymakers. Today is Fun Friday. Today's episode is going to be on energy and frequency. So, without further ado, Lord Milan, please take it over.
Thanks, Ryan, and good morning, everybody. Like you said, we're talking about energy and frequency. And sometimes people don't understand necessarily what the energy and frequency really mean. In the science world and in the self-help world, we refer to it as energy. If you're just a layperson, you probably know the word vibe. And we've all experienced where we've entered a room or we've met a new person and they just had a really good vibe. And we were comfortable with them and we felt at home. And also on the flip side, we also know what it's like to have a negative vibe. That you might not just know exactly what it is from a person or from a place, but you know that you get a sense that you're just uncomfortable and that's a negative vibe. But it's not just random. In the life that we live and the things that we're teaching, it's something that you can access anytime. You can control your vibe, you can control your energy, you can control your frequency. And one of the ways that we did that, we put out the graphic this morning, and I hope that you have seen that already. But if you haven't, it's a simple four-step process that we use and that we encourage you to use as well. And it starts with choosing to be happy now. And I know as hard as that may seem sometimes to choose to be happy, it's something that you can absolutely do because you can choose to be happy by the thoughts that you choose to think and focusing on the things that do make you happy. And one of the things that we encourage you to do is just highlight those things that bring you joy and happiness and the things that you're grateful for. Because joy and peace, that's really your highest vibration. And that will help you to not only be happy in the moment, but to carry that happiness regardless of the circumstances. And that's really where it all begins is with you. This all this is not about us, it's about you. It's about you and all of us individually, and then as a collective, when we choose to do these things to raise our highest vibration, that's when we can tap into really awesome things. That's where we can seemingly become masterminds and superheroes in order to move mountains and to really be a higher vibing and more productive and more happy version of ourselves. And the second bit of that really starts with your identity, and when we encourage you to really take stock, examine who you are, who you've been, and the things that are in your life that either make you happy or they don't, things that bring you excitement or bring down that vibe or that energy level. Because once you identify those and you have like a real baseline of where you are, then you can actually do something about it because awareness of your energy gives you options. And the third step is to build a list of all these things that make you feel amazing and that give you these high vibe energy and that bring excitement to your life. And then just simply focusing on those things, having them even in your head. You don't have to tell everybody else. You don't have to make a big spectacle of it because it's a personal journey. Just like everything that the Waymakers do, it's a path that we're creating and a path that you can create for yourself. And the last step is really just living in that ideal, living in those moments, living in the ideal version of your life that you've decided and you've created. And that's really what we're encouraging all of us to do because the world can be in an utter chaos sometimes, but you don't have to be. You can absolutely control your energy and your frequency and use that to tap into the things that really excite you. Because the things that excite us are the things that we resonate with, that we feel comfortable with, that we would love to have in our lives. And those things exist also on a frequency, on an energy level. The energy level of making $100,000 a year is different than the energy level of making $10,000 a year. And we all know how that feels when there's lack or limitation in our life. That's an example, a prime example of low energy. So if you want more energy in your life, you want more abundance in your life, it's up to you to first connect yourself with that energy of those greater things, and then those greater things will be attracted to you. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Jenna.
Yeah, I think something that you said that's really important is that, we control our own energy, right? We have the ability to be awake and aware and present in the current moment. A lot of you have heard Eckhart Tolle talk about, living in the present and the power of the now. And it's something that I tried to grasp for so long, and I haven't really gotten there until very, very recently. And what I've discovered is that being in the power of the now, being present in the moment, awakens you to so much joy and so much wonder. And I'm actually going to share a little video with you. My daughter's a photographer, and she just did this amazing video. And so I'm going to share it with you, and then I'll jump back in and talk a little bit more about the wonder. But listen to what she says about what wonder opens up for you.
You're nature, I'm nature. It's all kind of the same. We're all the living world, and I think that's deeply important.
So here
For me, to try and convey to folks who often feel disconnected. Growing up, I was just never fully fitting in. I always felt somewhat misfit.
I paused that on purpose, right? That's me. No.
Great
I don't know.
photo. Great photo.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Let it buffer for a second. Technology always does this when you're waiting, but maybe we needed the extra moments.
Mom really encouraged me to search for fairies in the forest. When you're searching for fairies in this really strange way, you're actually focusing on the tiniest little details of the forest. For me, with photography, it really gave this beautiful opportunity to show people how closely you can look at something and give a different perspective. Noticing the small details and understanding that you're not ever alone and that you're not misfit. We're all woven. Living in Boston now, like, you could be looking at a big expanse of concrete, but there could be a little tiny flower growing out of the side, and that's our living world. We're all around us. Photography gives you an excuse to focus on these small details. From that, to cultivate your childlike wonder. Childlike wonder is almost taught out of us as we get older. With Mila specifically, it was really beautiful because she truly believes fairies are real. There's more than one fairy.
Sure. Maybe we could find like wood and stuff.
Believe in fairies in the sense of the magic of dragonflies. This kind of beautiful ideology of, maybe they're just fairies in disguise. Just holding on to anything you can see is magic. I look at it and I see adults, like my uncle, who have carried that wonder, carried that imagination onward. He is a leatherworker, artist, saddle maker, true blue artist, allowing people to continue to connect with horses and connect with the land through Western horseback riding. This is the first time that I really truly saw him actually tool. It instilled this sense of wonder in me because I was watching him do the art that I've seen my whole life.
I love this old sewing machine making all the noises.
His advice to us always has been, follow what makes you happy, follow that joy. And I didn't connect until later that the joy and the wonder are paired. And I think that is the lesson that I take away from it, how cascades down generations, right? It gives me permission to live a life of joy. And then hanging out with Mila today, she wants to be a photographer now, and so then maybe the next generation can have permission to live a life of joy that comes from wonder.
So, I cannot hear anything but the video, so give me a second here. What I find just absolutely beautiful about that video, and thank you for letting me share it, is that that video came about because my daughter has been pursuing her dream of photography. And I just got back the other day from New York City, where she had a huge gallery exhibit and had the CEO of Fuji Japan and the CEO of Fuji North America come up and grab her hand and tell her how talented she was and how he couldn't have pulled off this huge exhibit, this huge event without her. And she's 25 years old and she's already found that sense of wonder and joy and following her dreams. And the reason that's relevant and the reason we decided to play that video today as a team is that, I think it really gives like a physical, literal sense to what wonder can be. We talked about dragonflies before in our conversation and the magic of dragonflies and the meaning of dragonflies. And, my daughter's taking those photos and taking that time in that moment just to stop and be and exist in that moment. And at that moment when you are fully, fully present, and you are absorbing and being aware and awake to everything around you, the beauty just appears. And everything else goes away. If you've ever read The Greatest Secret, she talks about being awake and aware and being in a situation where you have this undercurrent of joy, no matter what's going on around you. And it's something that it's taking me 5 decades, to figure out, but I have figured it out. And I have noticed in recent weeks, and I attribute it a lot to this group, into having, people to talk to who are in the same vibration as I am every morning. And what I've learned is that no matter what's happening around you, you can project love and you can find this stillness. You can find this undercurrent of joy that you can be continually present in. And it has everything to do with vibrating at the right frequency and holding on to that current of joy. And honestly, this group has helped me with that, because I find that in my dreams or in my moments of doubting my ability to hold that undercurrent of joy steady, I just kind of reach out energetically and say, Monty, Milan, Ryan, Mariposa, hold my hand, help me through this, and it's been amazing, because we don't sit in the same room. We're not physically in each other's presence, but we have the ability to connect virtually through our energy. We often talk about quantum physics and, that ability to see each other. And it's a really powerful thing, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. It's not really a thing, because energy isn't a thing. It's just eternal, and it's in the ether, and it is inspiration, and it ignites imagination. And I'm just so grateful to have that with the Waymakers, and I'm so excited to share with all of you over the coming weeks and months and years, hopefully, what it means to vibrate at a different frequency. And I have to say that I am finally in my life in a moment where that is a constant. I feel that joy constantly, no matter what is happening around me. I'm vibrating. And once you get to that vibration, you never want to leave it. It's like almost like a high that doesn't go away. And it's pretty powerful. And I'm going to hand it off to Monty, because he's going to talk about, I think, some of the results of staying in that frequency and being able to use that energy to create the things you want in this physical world. If I'm not wrong, Monty.
Never wrong. We're always right. Everything is always correct. I put on some cologne this morning because I felt extra good.
Smells good.
Yes, thank you. And I wanted to present myself in high energy and strong, focused energy, because for me, energy is strength. Energy is vitality. And I want to tell you what I wrote down in my notes. For sustained mental and physical activity, we need the correct energy input, because everything is energy, and we can absorb something that isn't serving us. It's that easy. It happens all the time. And a distraction, that energy can get into whatever's going on in your day, and you can be derailed. if you're not using every bit of your energy wisely, in that with the knowledge that you have, you know how to be prepared for distractions. With the correct attitude, you put up a force field already without even knowing it. With the correct attitude, I scare people away. They see these teeth, man, they're like, oh, he's happy. I can't mess with him today. I'm depressed. I can't deal with it. Oh, yeah. I run people right off, because if you're negative, it doesn't add any value. So my energy says you're not welcome at this time. When you change that energy to positivity, when you're seeking your greatness, then we are in alignment. That's my energy. That's where my energy, that's my resonance, my energy resonance, if you will, happiness, joy. Those are always high on my list. And then this other energy that I've adopted, attention. And I don't know how popular it is. I don't know if everyone will get it, but for me, the energy of attention, if I give my attention to the wrong things, I'm sabotaging myself. If I lend myself to something that isn't attempting to reach its greatness, I'm again hindering myself. I loved what Milan said earlier about enlightenment, and I wanted to further my enlightenment, because I wasn't always the person who could. Well, of course, I could always speak. I mean, everyone should be able to tell that I have zero issues with speaking, but to know what I was speaking about, I wasn't always 100% confident. And I learned something. I learned something about an energy that everyone else had that I was lacking, and it was just knowledge. And I used to think knowledge was like a blessing that a wizard or a fairy, took their little magic wand and said, "Ooh, they're smart. Ooh, you can read." Because I was like, duh, 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 duh. But it was only because of what was being poured into me. And you get everything that you're surrounded with when you're a kid. And so we didn't read a lot, but now I realize that my energy is the knowledge and the power that I receive from understanding. I understand that my energies are enthusiasm and high spark, right? And motivator and love. And those are my energies that I use to keep myself not only above the water, but I mean, no pun intended, but it's almost like we're walking on water, you know. Ooh, that felt good. I'm gonna just leave it there and pass the mic to Mariposa.
Thank you, Monty. And yes, when we connect to our highest good, which is, when we're children, everything's joy and wonder, right? Everything is like, oh, look at this, look at that. And like your daughter said, Jenna, it's like it's taken out of us. It's like slowly removes the joy and the wonder, right? And we're conditioned to the circumstances that we live in. And by no fault of anyone, it's just we learn through programs and we learn from our environment. We just absorb everything and we take it as truth. And then we work from these self-limiting beliefs, right? That I have to get a job and I have to grind it and I have to, say goodbye to my dreams and my goals and just grind it out for the rest of my life, which is not true. It's not your truth. If it's not your joy or your wonder, then it doesn't have to be that way. And what we've taken well, for me as well, is it took me a long time to realize that. And you've heard a lot of terms today. You've heard, vibration. What is a vibration? A vibration is energy. It starts from our emotions, our feelings. And when you follow what makes you happy, what feels good to your soul and to your mind and your body, then do that. Right. But we're not conditioned to do that. Right. We're conditioned to stay focused. Don't get your head out of the clouds, put your feet on the ground and just, produce, grind it, produce. And, when I realized that I could make money doing anything I love, when I allowed myself to believe that, that's when everything started to change. Like, oh, so this life is not meant to be suffered and to be unhappy. Like I literally thought that that was my penance to live on this earth, to suffer and to not do the things that I love. And that's how I was going to gain my reward. But what I've realized is that we give meaning to our life. We give meaning to everything that happens in our life, whether it's a good meaning or a bad meaning. We determine that. So anything at all that happens to us or around us, we have the power to turn it into a positive. What can I learn from this? How can I grow from the situation? What is it teaching me? And look for the good. Examine it as for what it is. And yes, living in the moment is so important. And one of the highest vibrations, because everything's on a frequency. Everything is on energy is a frequency of energy of motion, right? Whether that's a big long wave or a tiny micro fast wave, that's the highest energies or the highest vibrations. And that is peace and love. That is the peace and love is the highest vibrations. And we measure it in hertz. And so shame and guilt are like the lowest vibration. So when you're feeling shame and you're feeling guilt, you're at your lowest vibe, you don't feel good. You don't want to get up and go to work. You don't want to get up, and it limits your creativity, your imagination. And so, and of course we know, right? We talked about this last week. We are on autopilot. 96% to 99% of what we do is automatic. So we don't even think about it. So we're just living off our programs and doing the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And before you know it, we're in the exact same place we were. I mean, that's why I stayed at the company I was with for 23 years, because it was just repeat. And I kept limiting my desires, my wants, my dreams, what brought me peace and joy. And so when we awaken to say, you know what, that's no longer my truth. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to live my life. I started to change the things in my life, and I started going after the things that made me happy. What did I love? It took me like a few months to figure out what was it. And I went back to my childhood. What did I love as a child? I love being by the beach. I love traveling. I love visiting different countries. And this is what I'm doing now. Like I'm here in Cartagena, Colombia, living by the beach, which is right, that's the ocean behind me. And I said yes to myself. I said yes to living the life of my dreams, what brings me joy and happiness. And a lot of the things in my life that weren't a match because they weren't matching on my frequency went away. Lots of people, places, and things like my old job, like just a lot of things. If it's not in the vibing with me, I can bless it and release it and let it go. Like I don't have to carry that, the burdens of the past or the burdens of the people around me. It's about me and helping others do the same, to help them reach their goals and dreams. And this is why we're here. And just wanted to share those definitions of the joy, the wonder, the resonance, right? Is what Monty, you mentioned. You got to resonate with your end result, meaning that you got to be on the same frequency. The first step is to become aware of what you want. And that's what the handout that Milan did and posted in the group is all about, is become aware of what you want, connect with that at that frequency, create a vision of what it is that would really make you happy. And that may take some time, and that's okay. And Monty, you had your hand up. I'll let you speak.
Oh, I did have my hand up because I wanted to share something that was in alignment with everything we're saying, and everything we've been studying, and everything we're going to continue to share with you all. enlightenment, insight, reason. Learn to reason, not with the thoughts that everyone else gave you. Discover yourself, you know, get in tune with yourself, make that your energy. I want to say, further discover your individualism and use that individualism, that individual thought over the traditional, what we're taught by tradition. Doesn't make sense to continue to drive that old Model T. Ryan, what's that car you like? Viper?
A
Yes,
Dodge
sir.
Viper.
Could you please say it in the microphone?
Yes, sir. The Dodge Viper. That is what I'm manifesting.
Why would you stick with the old Model T mindset and energy when everything's constantly changing and evolving around you?
Yeah, that's what Mariposa said about bless it and let it go.
Viper
And then say yes
mindset.
to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, say yes to
Bless
yourself
it.
with the Viper mindset, with individualism over tradition. Think about how much that means.
Yeah. Well, and I think, Monty, one thing you're saying that's really cool too is like your personal path to joy. You know, we are all connected and we can resonate at the same frequency and be a collective and a community, but we each have an individual, you know, vision, a personal path to joy.
Yeah, it's an
Ryan's. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got to resonate, you know, you got to feel it. When you feel it and you're happy. So when Ryan's thinking about his Viper and he's visualizing himself in it, like he's happy, you can see the smile on his face, you know, and that's a resonance.
Yes. I mean, that's definitely amongst my self visualizations. You know, it's personal to me, but I do like the Viper mindset. You know, we might have to use that moving forward.
Yes. Like I visualize myself on my boat, you know, and I feel the wind and I see it. Like when I close my eyes, I just visualize myself on top of the boat with the sun on my body and the wind and the air. And it's just like, oh, it feels so good, you know, and even though it's not in the physical, it is already done. And then I just release that and let it go and then wait for it. Like you place an order on Amazon and you wait for it, right? You're just happily waiting for it to arrive. You're not worried and not stressed about it. You're just enjoyous expectation. And that's why we say you got to be enjoying now. You got to be happy now with your situation and circumstance, even though it may not be what you want. But if you look for the good in it, like, oh, this is temporary. This is not my reality. My reality is on the way. And we just let it go, you know, and we enjoy that. There's so much, you know, you can find things to make you happy. Find the joy in your day. They are there. If you look for them, you will find them, you know.
I think that's an important thing too, that you know, that you talk about, Mariposa, about you can't be disappointed in what you have right now. You have to be happy and grateful for where you are and what you have. And, you know, like I said, this is Fun Fridays. So drive that.
Yeah,
Viper,
I love it. I just
know.
read that.
Yeah. Get on that fast boat. It doesn't mean that you're unhappy in the moment. It means that you're so happy with where you are and you're so excited about all of the amazing things that are manifesting in your life. And it just multiplies and multiplies. Right, Milan? Right, Ryan?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's, for me, I mean, energy, high energy, staying on that high vibe and that high energy, that high frequency, for me is, you know, like you guys were talking about, using your imagination and living in those moments, and not just to daydream, because daydreaming is just that. It's just daydreaming. It doesn't really do anything. But we're using it in a different way of trusting that those daydreams, those things that resonate with us and excite us, are actually coming to us and forming on their way to us eventually. We don't know the exact date. I wish we did. You know, like Amazon, you could track your order. But you know, just the expectation and the excitement of it. You know, it's a lot of this that we're teaching, a lot of this that we're living is really the highlights of childhood in a childlike brain of just, if you tell a child that, hey, we're going to go to the park today, they don't care how it's going to come. They just think, oh, it's fun. They start visualizing the things that they're going to do, the swing, the slide, all these things. And it's something that we can do as well as adults, just with even greater things, just greater than the slide, greater than the sand on your toes. And it's, really the things that resonate with you, the things that excite you, the things that give you joy. And for me, give me that giddy feeling are the things that it's
Giddy.
like God is telling me that those things are mine. And that's why these techniques work for everyone, but it's also unique for everyone, because the things that make me giddy and make me excited might not be the same things that make you excited. And that's totally fine, because life is about our individual journey and our individual path. But being able to identify those things and hold on to those things really help to accelerate your life and give you more joy than ever. Because I've been holding on to walking again and running 5Ks for 20 years. And I still wake up every day with the expectation of a child of, oh, it's going to happen today. Oh, it's going to happen today. And seeing myself as that active person. And that's really what brought me from the C4 quadriplegic that had no hope of, feeling or movement according to science and doctors, to the place where I am now of full feeling and walking and being healthy and still progressing after all this time. And as unlikely as it seems, and as unlikely as your situation may seem about any type of growth or progress, using these techniques and choosing to be happy now, choosing to focus on what you want and what excites you, and then living in that, even if it's just in your head for the time being, but using your words and finding those things that tap into your high energy and the things that resonate with you to lift you up in those moments. That's the exact thing that you should be doing. And that's the best thing that you could be doing for yourself, to not just raise your vibe, but to really create the world, continue to create the world as you see fit. And that's really what we're doing here is as Waymakers, is helping you to make a way, because we've seen it play out hundreds and hundreds of times in our own lives, and for people that we have been taught by, like Bob Proctor and so many others. And bringing it to you guys is such a joy for us, because we know it works. We know it works. Like we're not the type to waste your time or ours, because we know that it's valuable. And like Monty was saying, like if you're not on this high vibe, then I don't got time for you. And it's the same thing with all of us. Once we decide and we accept that these things are really ours, not just an idea, then those things are absolutely running and racing their way to us, just like Ryan's Viper, just speeding down the highway. Like, here you go, and it's being able to feel that really raises your vibration for everything. Your money will go up, your relationships will be better, your joy will just be overflowing. And that's really what all this is all about, is to live in that happiness and abundance, no matter the circumstances.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you for that. Ryan, did you have something before I?
You go ahead. You had your hand.
I just wanted to welcome Raquel.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Everybody.
Raquel. Welcome, Terry.
Yeah, and welcome, Terry. Raquel.
And we have Nancy watching on Facebook.
Oh, nice. Hi.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello, Nancy. Welcome.
Yeah, so we would like to welcome you, Raquel and Terry. Raquel, can you unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good. And can you hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you. I want
Okay.
to see if we can. We can't see you though.
Let me see. I was trying to put the camera on, but
It's
it's not
okay.
working. It's not working. I don't know.
It's fine. I want to confess to everyone who watches this. Literally, I was communicating with Raquel, and it looked like I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, but I was literally trying to send her the link, and so I must have messaged Celine Mariposa, and she finally gave me the correct link. So, to introduce Raquel, Raquel and I have been friends for a long time now, and we met at Bob Proctor's Paradigm Shift in LA. Is that correct, Raquel?
Yes, it is.
We're talking about energy today. What happened when your energy met my energy and my energy met your energy? What happened?
Oh God, that was like a boom.
Yeah, it was like, and
Yeah.
what happened? How's our relationship been since we met that one time live at a live event in person? What happened between us? How did we take that energy and make it something good?
Yeah, I mean, I was with my sister at the first time we saw Monty was like, oh my God, we like this guy. We want this guy in our lives. So we I don't know, we become friends and then I took them how is the program?
Leaping
Can't
into
remember.
results.
Thinking
See?
into
Thinking
yourself.
Results, yeah. And it
Yes.
definitely changed my life. I remember at the lesson 3, I can't do this because it's changing my life so dramatically. And I was
Mhm.
like, Monty, I'm not ready for this, because I was questioning myself about everything,
Mm.
about my belief and everything. I'm from Costa Rica. So people here live in a very different way. Um, and that was hard for me at the beginning. I was about to quit. Then I said to myself, no, I will keep doing this. And my
Mhm.
life turns such in a different way. I
Yes.
can say I'm happier and
Mhm.
I am my own boss. Everything is going great.
Mhm.
And it changed my life so dramatically. And I'm so happy about not to quit at that moment.
Mhm.
But mhm.
Raquel, I think that's wonderful. That's more than I expected. But but it is Fun Friday. And you know what I love, friends? Everyone who is going to be blessed to see this and listen to this. This young lady, um, she is so strong. But for
Mhm.
some reason, she was not aware of it. She
Mhm.
believed herself to be less. She believed herself to have some weakness.
Mhm.
This woman is a genius. I mean, a genius. Um, and she's my friend. Um,
Mhm.
and she's correct. When our energies met, we knew that something, like the
Mhm.
seed had been instantly planted by Source, by
Mhm.
God. You know, the
There
seed
are
was
no
planted.
coincidences. Yeah,
No
Yeah,
no
coincidence.
coincidence.
exactly.
Yes. Um, I'm really happy that you're here.
Mhm.
I messaged you weeks ago and I said something huge is happening and I'm going to need you to be there. So I'm happy you're here and I look forward to speaking with you one on one after this call, Raquel. Uh,
Sure.
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Mariposa.
it's so much fun to hear your voice. I wish we could see you, but I can feel your energy. And this is Fun Friday, and this is the reason that we are here is to attract and to work with people just like yourself who have,
Okay.
wherever people are at in their journey to
Mhm.
connect to them. And, our energy, our happiness, our joy increases every time we have someone join us like you, like Terry, who's being quiet, but Terry has an incredible joy too. And all of you who are watching on Facebook. And, it's just been such an amazing journey. And we're so grateful to all of you.
Yes, surrounding ourselves with
Oh.
great energy.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
Mariposa,
This is
please.
what happens when we are vibrating at a certain frequency, right? We start attracting. When you say yes to yourself, when you say yes to your dreams, when you say yes to your goals, even though you don't know how it's going to happen, right? You just have this faith. And that's one of the last steps. You got to have faith and you have to have belief and take action. Taking action is critical. And we're so happy you're here with us, Raquel and Terry.
Mhm.
Oh.
Thank you for being here and continue to come back. And we've attracted each other into this space, and
Mhm.
we're going to keep attracting the right people and the right places and the right things. And
May I just jump in there with you?
Yeah.
And would you do me a favor? Because I was attempting to, and Raquel will tell you, I was attempting to learn Spanish because we spent so many hours, right, Raquel?
Yes.
And she was like, wait a minute, okay, I don't understand. And then I was like, I don't understand. And then we were like, I just started learning Spanish. Will you please, Mariposa, tell Raquel
In Milan.
and Milan, would you guys ask Raquel in Spanish? Tell her that I said I would love for her to join us full time. Thank you. Please say this. Yeah, thank you.
Gracias. Nos gustaría que te juntaras con nosotros tiempo completo.
Oh, thank
Right.
you.
You're welcome.
Milan also speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Sí.
This is fun. This is Fun Friday.
Yes.
I would love to hear from Terry how
Yes.
she's evolved, how being in our energy has helped her.
Okay, first, good morning, everybody. And the reason why I was off camera is because I'm with one of my little guys this morning. It's just the two of us, and we are walking through the woods here in Michigan at what's called Asylum Lake. So if I seem like I'm out of breath and being chased, I'm not. I'm just walking. But the energy that I have received from all of this, and I think people need to be more and more and more aware of it, is one, it's contagious. And two, since I've started with Waymakers, I'd like to say become a part of Waymakers, my energy levels mentally increased before they did physically. Now, the physical part came in when, after 5 years of not riding a bicycle, I rode a bicycle and I was successful at it. And then the physical part of walking every single day to let the physical part catch up with the mental part as far as health has been overwhelming, which I know Milan is happy to hear because he's been on me for this for a very long time. But I did have a doctor friend to tell me, when your mind and your body meet at an intersection at the same time with creativity and positivity, then you'll take off.
Yeah.
So I've taken
Terry,
off.
you and I have to talk because this group knows I've been working on, my weight and my health as well. And it's difficult after 50, right? But I have been, it's interesting because I did something really interesting, like what you said about your mind and creativity and your body meeting. I actually take better care of other people than I do myself. I always have my whole life. And so
Girl, don't
turned
get me
my
to
body.
preaching, because that's where you say hallelujah and amen.
Yeah, but what I did is I decided to treat my body like I would one of my kids or, the people that I take care of. And I started talking to my body as my true self. So meaning my true self, I'm healing, on the inside, I feel happy, I feel whole, I feel present, but that energy wasn't translating into the physical.
Right.
And so I started having a conversation with my body, and I've been making deals with my body and talking to my body, and it's finally letting go of the weight, because I said, I'm trying to keep you healthy. I need you to cooperate. and it is. I mean, it's almost like magic when that happens, when you get yourself in the right energy. But it's funny because I feel a bit schizophrenic. I talk to myself in the mirror and I'm like, you need to get in shape.
Yeah, we have to talk to ourselves. One, because we're all different people. I'm a mom, I'm a caregiver, I'm a grandma, I'm a sister, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a child of God. But when you start listening to the positivity of all of that, and then that's when you can tell the body, and that's when the body responds with, I've been waiting for you to get there. And now that I'm here,
Yes,
it's easier.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take it off camera when I was coming down that hill, because y'all would have been calling 911 going, she looked distressed. But I was making sure I stayed walking down the hill and not rolling down the hill. But those things have met. The vibe that Monty talked about, the viper. I don't want a viper, Ryan, but I want a spider. And if we ever meet together, it's going to look good.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
You know,
I love
we
it.
can ride
Okay.
California together,
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
but
Mariposa and I'll meet you on the beach.
when it all came together,
I'll take
it
my
just made
speedboat.
a different picture for the whole package.
Yeah.
And now the whole package is doing better because I have walked down that hill.
Mhm.
And mind you, my inhaler is in the car. I'm winded, but I'm no longer out of breath because, as well as the body, the breath, the lungs, the mind has all been renewed. And to you guys and my higher power, I say thank you.
Hallelujah. We were talking
Yay.
about
Amazing.
I don't know who
Aren't you
should
glad
be
you
proud.
joined us, Raquel? We're so fun.
Oh yeah. I don't know who should be prouder, Milan or Miss Terry, because you both are amazing. So
Yeah.
you guys are
It was a
awesome.
journey. Wrong way, baby, this way.
Yeah.
It was a journey.
Mhm.
It was fun. When I catch myself doing things like this, this is like a 4-mile walk. I'm just tickled pink because, you know, last year, 3 months ago, I wouldn't even attempted that. Anderson,
Man.
I was looking at these things on my phone and now I'm doing these things.
Mm.
Nothing happens by osmosis. You have to get out and do it. And that's the biggest thing. It's not going to come to you because you want it. You got to put in the work.
Absolutely.
And you got to put in
One
the
step
thought.
at a time. Yeah.
And
Water
girl,
source to water source.
coming down the hill, so you're right. One step at a time. So if y'all start seeing trees, grandma's down.
Okay.
I think you're definitely talking about alignment, right? When you're aligned with your higher self, your spiritual self, right? Connected to higher power, higher calling, purpose, your mind is aligned with, and then your body. So
Take your
it's
shoes off.
mind, spirit, body. Your body just takes off. You just start taking action and you start doing the things that you love, that you allow yourself to do, where you take off the limitations from your mind.
You do. I know it's a cliche, but you know, back in the day, people would say, think outside the box. Well, I had several boxes that I had to come out of, and this is joy. I've always been a peaceful person, but outside of that peace was a little bit of, I don't know, spider webby type stuff. I'd go a little, I get stuck. I'd go a little, I get stuck. But now it's like I go a little, I break through.
Yes, it's those.
And to me, that's great.
Yes. Yes, that's our paradigms, the programs, the fears, we're ingrained our body to keep us safe, right? And this is where our subconscious program comes into play, where we're not aware of those limitations, but instead of rejecting them or resisting them, because what we resist persists, we embrace those things that are trying to protect us and say, thank you for showing up. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I no longer need that.
Right.
And I'm stepping into my power, into what I love and following my bliss. And you go and you do those things.
Yes, true.
Like you
Because
say,
like
break through.
It was a breakthrough. And now I'm here. I've made it down the path. We're at the river. My little guy's walking in the water. The sun is shining. The brook is babbling, and life is good. I'm not sitting in my chair. I'm not just, playing on my phone, which I did other things in that, but that was my constant. It's no longer my constant. Hey, Monty, I love that smile.
Undercurrent of joy. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So life
So
is
much
good, and I thank
goodness.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
That was beautiful. That was a great experience.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
On
it
your
kind of
journey
goes
with
to,
you.
it kind of goes to show.
Give me a call, Jenna. Get my information from Milan.
I
because
will.
in the very first time I was there, and you talked about your mom and breakthroughs and stuff, and I just kind of went back, and that kind of led me to why I was such a procrastinator, because I was never allowed to. I was always do, and when I said I could slow down, I slowed down, but somewhere along the lines, following that same pattern, I didn't slow down, I stopped.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that I've started moving again, it's
Yeah.
awesome sauce.
Yeah, I sent a message to the team the other day that said a quote I had heard that when you start to move, the path appears. That's when it appears. So
Right. When
Yeah.
you have that
Awesome.
faith and you take that first step, like you don't know where you're gonna like how it's all supposed to work, right? But when you have faith, you just close your eyes and you just walk on faith and you take the step, and then the bridge appears, the stone where you need to step, and what you need comes to you. It's like God, universe sends it to you, but you gotta have faith. You gotta
And
have
you got to take that first step. And I
Yeah.
wasn't, I was not,
action.
I was scared too. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. I was scared to take that first step because I was afraid of failure. And one of the quotes in Milan's book, I know if I mess it up, I'm gonna get a text from him later, but failure isn't the end. If you get up, it's the beginning. I paraphrased it, but you know, and I ignored that failure and I kept going, and you know, the
Yeah.
scale looks better, the heart feels better.
It's like a mental step.
It was
Yeah,
a mental
Yeah.
step. You're right, Ryan. It was a mental step.
absolutely. And this is why it's so important to say yes to yourself, to say yes to what you desire, to follow your bliss, to follow the joy, to follow the wonder, and not let fear stop you. Acknowledge it. Yes, thank you, fear, for showing up, trying to protect me. Never
I appreciate that, but bye-bye. Got stuff to do. Got stuff to do.
Gotta go.
You know,
feel like-
another big step for me is I've been married for over 42 years. And
Hey.
any vacation that I've taken other than going to a spiritual retreat with friends, I've never done anything by myself. And next week, by myself, I'm flying off to Virginia to see family, to just rest, work from my computer, and recoup. And I've never done that by myself in over 42 years, except for being with another group of women. But this time I'm going solo. I'm seeing my sisters, but I wouldn't have thought
Good for
about
you.
doing that, not by myself.
Good for
That's
you.
awesome.
That's a
Yes.
growth.
Awesome.
I said yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was just meeting one day a week, right? Imagine if you met with us 3 days a week and being in our energy 3 days a week. And this
Oh,
is
I will. I'm ready for the sign up. I had to put the procrastination on the side, but Milan sent me the link. I am so
Yay.
there. I am so there.
You're so wonderful.
you are honorary member.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't tell you everything I experienced just hearing you speak. Like, this is, I'm going to do something nice for you. Because you know what? You give me the energy that you ever wished for an energy, friends, like literally wished for a bright light, strength, honesty, knowledge, eager to grow. I wish for that, and I'm receiving that from you, Mrs. Terry, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're definitely a light that shines bright, right? And this is the energy that we give, is the energy we attract. And this is why we created this space, is to help people break through the fear and break through the paradigm and the program, and to follow the bliss and to say yes to ourselves. And this is why we're here, and what we offer is to meet with us and to share it so we can give this our wisdom, right? Our collective wisdom. We've all been through stuff that's been pretty scary and pretty life limiting to any normal person, right? And I'm not saying normal because we're all the same, but we became aware of a different way of doing life. And through universe, God, the light appeared, and we followed that path, we followed that bliss, and we all share, and we will continue to share a story, you know. And with the paid subscription that we have, a month-to-month subscription, which is $100, you get us 3 days a week. You can also do the 3-month program and get 15% off, and you get my book, which is right behind Monty, right there. It's How to Live Your Best Life, how to go from surviving to thriving after abuse. But I talk a lot about what we say, and we talk about in this meeting. And then our VIP is a membership to our Opulence Club. And that is a whole 12-month subscription for $888. You get my book, ebook. You get Milan's ebook as well, Drops, which is phenomenal. And you get a mastermind monthly call with us where we will come together and really dwell and dive deep into your goals and what you would like to accomplish and help you set that opulent way, the way to get there, and really map it out and help you with that mindset process. So that is our offer, and we are here to serve and to provide value and to help. We're still going to do Fun Fridays, fun, and it's free, and you can come and join us every Friday. But if you want more, if you're serious about really changing your life and letting go of all the fears and the programs, because it took me a year or two really to just let go of everything. Like, I resigned or retired from my job, and I stepped into my bliss. And that was in 2020, right before COVID. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And it's 2 years later, and I'm still like releasing and removing blockages and all those things, because it took a whole life of program.
Right.
And it's gonna take some time to unlearn and
come back.
Yeah. Unlearn and relearn. So we're all here to provide that to all of our members. And we're so happy that you're here, Raquel, and so happy that you're here, Terry. Like, we really honor you for being who you are and where you are, and for sharing your energy with us.
Thank you so much. There's one thing I want to show you guys. I think it was you, Mariposa, that said it's the stepping stones from one path to the other. I'm hoping that I can get where I am on camera, the stream.
Love
If
it.
you can see it.
Yeah.
You see the stepping stones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Stepping stones to another path. Now, if that ain't God, you tell me
That's
what.
so perfect. Right.
I think she tapped into her energy.
When you said stepping stones to a different path, and I looked at where I was sitting, I was like, okay, stay up, because they're going to get nervous if you go down. But I'm at a stream. It's got a little bit of a wave. It's got a little of a ripple, but it's got stones to the other side. And for that, I thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so
That is
welcome.
so beautiful.
Thank you for that.
Divine timing.
Absolutely. Raquel, are you still with us? If so, can you unmute yourself?
Well, we're going to keep walking. You guys have a blessed and a good week, and keep sharing that energy and those vibes,
Right on. You're amazing. You're just
Have a good rest of your day.
Bye, guys. I look forward to that viper and that spider ride, Ryan.
Yes. I'll hold you to it. You can hold me to it.
It's our goal.
Yes.
Okay. I love that.
Talk to you
Love
soon, Terry.
Bye.
Blessed day, Terry. Thank you.
Bye.
Yes, perfect. Well, I did want to ask Raquel a question. Bye, Miss Terry.
Bye.
So awesome. All this energy that was exchanged in this hour.
Yeah. I know. I can't believe our hour's already up. We're having so much fun. That's that thing about living the best day of our lives every day, right?
Yeah, I like
if you're
that.
in that moment and you're resonating at that level, then every day is the best day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have 1 minute left, it seems. I just wanted to say thanks to Raquel. Raquel is my friend, former client, soon to be client and business partner again, because it's just what we do. The next time we get on Monday, the next time we're actually on again, I want to have Raquel on again so that she can share her conversation with Bob. She had an idea, she had a thought, and she wanted to ask Bob a question. And so, of course, Tommy was Bob's creative media director, me a consultant, and so on a live, she gets on live, and it was pretty interesting, and it kind of helped her. It was like a building block. It was that link in the chain that she needed for herself to cause her to get over another hump, because they just kept appearing. So I'd like to have her talk about that.
That's our cliffhanger. You have to join us next time.
Yeah.
Hear this story.
Oh, absolutely. Did you know? Did you see it coming?
Yeah, I do.
Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We appreciate you, and join us for free on Fridays, or be our subscribe member, get an access into the Opulence Club. And we love you all so much.
Mhm.
Thank you for being in our space.
Not good at the heart.
I thank you all.
Yeah.
Love you.
Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day.
Hey. Bye.
You